Now, an inclusive theatre company will be performing in Corby in 3 weeks, and the main part of the cast are made up from adults with learning disabilities, and they have a neurodivergent cast. I thought we need to find out more about this show. It's called You Know My Mum. That's the name. That's the name. Apparently, it's emotional, it's funny, and it's based on a true story of a young woman with Down syndrome. And it's coming to the core at Corby Cube on the 6th of May and the 7th of May. And apparently, it's suitable for all ages from 7 upwards. Here is a little bit of the trailer that a lovely chap called Francis sent me. I really like that. I've got Francis on the phone. Hello, Francis. How you doing?
Hello, Babs. I'm doing very well, thank you.
I like that. Is the tune of that? When you're strange, nobody knows your name. I've forgotten the name of the song. I love what you've done.
It has been likened to Everyone's Strange When You're a Stranger.
Yes.
So there is no connection to the. Don't sue us.
I love that. Now, You Know My Mum is the name of the show. So tell me a little bit more about it, Francis, and tell me about your lovely cast as well.
So this is an original show which came out of a devising process that took many months. So back at Ego Arts in Coventry, we run a weekly training program for adults with learning disabilities or who are neurodivergent, and we train them to become professional theatre performers. And as part of that, they have devised the show from scratch. It all came from Alex, who's a young woman with Down syndrome. She is part of the cast. Her mum passed away a few years ago, and she really wanted to tell the story about what that's like and her memories of her mum.
Wow.
And so with the rest of the cast, everyone threw in their own ideas and experiences. And the end product is this absolutely mad, funny, sad show.
Oh, it sounds really, really amazing. And I know if anybody's watched Britain's Got Talent recently, you've only got to look at Electric Umbrella and the impact that they made on people watching at home, had me in tears, and certainly the panel and everybody. I mean, it was just joyful to watch.
Yes, absolutely. I saw that on Britain's Got Talent. And there's definitely something about people with a learning disability or people who are neurodivergent or people who just feel they're a little bit different, seeing themselves reflected on the stage and seeing stories that they're not used to seeing.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm really pleased as well because in the details that you sent me, it's sort of family friendly, isn't it? Because from 7 upwards, you're saying that families could come and watch this.
Yes, and it sort of covers a range of different emotions, but it's designed to be accessible to all sorts of audiences, because death can be a very troubling thing that you want to keep from little ones, but there's so many children's stories out there which do deal with it in a very sensitive way, and so we're kind of in that vein.
Yeah, I think so. And also, it is circle of life, isn't it? And I know it's a bit corny, but it is. And if it's dealt with in a way that is palatable and not frightening, then I think it should be explored.
Yes, absolutely. And the circle of life is something that we actually build into the show quite well. We've got this beautiful video designed backdrop, which allows us to move from one scene to the next. And you do kind of see that change and renewal, and it looping back around. It's all about, things end, but then things begin again.
Yeah. You sound very proud, I have to say, Francis. Has it been, with all your different hats on, facilitator, marketing, part of Ego Arts, has it been a really lovely kind of journey that you've been on with this cast?
Absolutely. We've been working on this show since, I think, the start of 2023. So that's over 2 years.
Crikey.
And it grew from that tiny seed into what you see now. And the fact that it's grown so organically from all of our different members, they were all invested in it from the start, and they've put themselves into it. It's just something that we're all so proud of.
I bet you are. And in a former life, before I had a silly job on the radio, I used to be a carer for young adults with learning disability. And I think and I did that for nearly 15 years. I think my overriding feeling about that time, and it was something that you kind of hinted at earlier, that it's the honesty and the openness, and everything is much more simple and less complicated. And I had some of my best times and best conversations with those young people. And actually, when you take away all of the noise of life, some of the conversations I had with some of those young men and women were absolutely fantastic, and actually gave me a perspective from their point of view and how they saw the world. And it really, I think it's sort of, I want to say it made me a better person, but it certainly gave me better understanding. Do you know what I'm trying to say, Francis?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's an absolute joy to work with these cast members.
Yeah.
And to have conversations, like you say, that you'd never have anywhere else.
Yeah.
And we've tried to put that into the show because Alex, when she plays herself in this show, she has a lot of questions, a lot of very direct, very difficult questions about what happens when you die, and whether animals go to heaven, and all those kind of questions that we don't have answers to. And so, it is a challenging thing, but so rewarding.
Yeah, and really worth it. And I if you are, I don't know, a teaching assistant, a teacher, parents, or somebody in your circle, and you've got young people, with a learning disability or neurodivergent, then you should go and see this. But even if you don't, go and see it. And so you can get a different perspective. So your options are here at the core at Corby Cube. You've got an evening performance on Tuesday the 6th of May at 7, and then a lovely, one of my favourites, matinee performance 11 o'clock on Wednesday the 7th of May. And I would urge you to go and see it. Francis, it sounds like a triumph. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Babs.
No problem. Have a lovely rest of your day, Francis.
Cheers, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Babs Michelle.